There's something we have learned, right? That beyond being a child of God, you are a servant of God.
Being open, being honest, and making your intentions clear from the beginning is something that is lacking in this generation.
I just saw someone who was interested in my
In your
my
business, in your art,
And
Nice.
you know, David and his brother, they're like business moguls.
Looking at marriage, but I'm not
Okay.
fully ready now. I just
Okay.
want you to go so that you don't go to school
Okay.
and somebody else.
That was like the first
That was part of the
conversation.
strategy. It was part of it.
I didn't know I was already in someone's plan and everything. But that
Yeah, God's gift to me. I think that's the only way to explain it. And I told you before that God loves me so much, He gives me the best gift.
was,
And so you're that best gift to me.
Blessings and love. It is always a great day here at Refuge and Fortress. My name is Yemi Emmanuel. I go by PY, and this is my Darling Bride podcast. On this podcast, our mission is to dig and discover precious gems for the building of kingdom homes and relationships. On this season, at the core season, the purpose of this season is how did you get to know your significant other at the core? Really get to know them before you said yes to them. And so on today, we have with us a very special guest. He was with us at our wedding. They were there. In fact, they recently just got married. He was the photographer and videographer in charge of our wedding when we did our wedding in Nigeria way back when. And now he himself is married recently, and they have a daughter of their own as well. And so it's a joy and a privilege actually to have them on today. And who am I talking about? None other than Mr. and Mrs. Adelakuns.
hello.
I'm so excited to be with you. I'm so excited.
of Tap Studio. They're doing great and wonderful work right there in Nigeria. And by the way, they are our first Nigerian guest. Can you believe it?
Repping Niger.
So they're going to be our first Nigerian guest, and we'll see how it goes today. Welcome, my brother and my sister. How are you guys doing?
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you, Yemi, for having us.
We're so glad. We're so happy to have you guys. It's been a journey, as we know. So you guys were there with us in the beginning of our journey, and we know we've been a part of your journey too, as well. So how has it been? So you guys have been married now. How long?
Almost 2 years.
So that's 1 year, 9 months.
1 year and 9 months. So you turned 2 in February, correct?
Yes.
Got you. Okay. And your daughter is gonna be, how old is your daughter now?
It's going to be 1 December.
Just so you guys wasted no time.
We don't know what happened. It was like a shock. It was a shock.
It was a shock. Okay, it wasn't planned. But we thank God. So you're gonna turn 2. Your second wedding anniversary is gonna be next year, February. Okay.
Yes.
Now, how long did you guys date before you got married?
Okay. How long?
6
6 years.
You dated
6
6 years. Okay. Okay, very good. And this is the beautiful thing about this platform, right? Because we've brought multiple people with different stories. We've had somebody who met a girl, and I think he dated for less than a year, and he said, I know you're the one for me, and they got married the very next year, right? And in your case, you did 6 years. We did 6. Did we do 6 years? I think, yeah, we did 6 years too before we, pulled the trigger and say, okay, let's do this thing, right? Why did it take you long? Is it that you were trying to, what was the issue, right? Was there an issue? Why did it take you long to draw that conclusion that this is the one for you?
Okay. So for me, it was, I don't think I was ready at the time I spoke to her, and I made it clear, right? I said, So the thing is, he was supposed to travel,
Okay.
and then for school.
Okay.
And so I sent her a message like, okay, I like you. I want us to have something. I want us to have a relationship.
Okay.
And if you are not ready, I myself, I'm looking at marriage, but I'm not fully ready now. Okay. I just want you to go so that you don't go to school.
Okay.
And somebody else. So it was just like that open. I want a relationship now, but I'm not ready for the big commitment.
Okay, let me pause you right there. Yes,
that's that's how it was at the beginning.
And I love that. Like, so I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. I like the fact that you were open and upfront from the beginning. This is a trait that a lot of us in this generation are missing. We're not open and upfront about our intentions. When we meet a lady, we meet a guy, I like you. I might not be ready for marriage right now, but that is my intention. Simple. You're making your intention known and very clear to the woman, and you're being honest about it. You're not lying. This is really, I would love to do it, but right now I'm not ready, but this is my intention. A lot of us in this generation, we're testing the waters. And then we lie to the person and say, oh, it's this or it's that. We never make our intention known and clear enough so that person know how to plan and move forward in their life. I'm saying this because we know of a lady who spent years dating the same guy, and a lot of people told her, this guy is not for you. The way he's treating you, we can discern and we can tell that this thing is not going anywhere. But she kept telling her friends and her family, but you don't know the conversations we're having. You don't know that. You don't know this. You don't know. And then 4 years later, the guy left her. A year after that, got married to somebody else. So being open, being honest, and making your intentions clear from the beginning is something that is lacking in this generation.
I think I want to add something to what you said.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I think there's also that period where people say, how do I know she's the one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily feel you have to date somebody to know whether she's the one. She's the one. In terms of your values, like obviously other things other things you have to discuss in the dating phase, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I checked that out already, like for months before I sent her that message. I checked out, I created scenarios where we'll be together with maybe other people, look at the things she said, the things that she valued, the kind of things she liked, so that the things that now made me form that, oh no, this person is something interesting here. Right? So I think people don't have that, or people think that they have to be in a relationship to find out. And I don't think you have to be, like, you can be friends and then find out.
Yes.
Right? So that you are upfront with your intention when you now come out and say, see, I think there's something there for me and you, but I'm not ready, or you get, but they're not that you now do 4-year relationship and you're still checking out. Right?
Now that's a hack. That's a hack right there. For a lot of people who don't know, if you're listening to this is a hack right there. Why? Because if you ask them, they may lie to you, or they may tell you what you want to hear. What are your values? My vow, I'm God-fearing. I go to church. They may tell you, they may look at you and size you up and say, if I tell him this, he may not talk to me anymore. But let me tell him what he wants to hear.
But in the midst of friends.
Exactly. Right. So now what you've done is you paid attention to what they're not saying.
Yes.
I like that. So you took your time, did your investigation, watched them carefully, and then draw a little bit of conclusion, so that now whatever they're telling you is just confirming what you already know.
Yeah. I did a lot. Like, I went to a house, took her with friends, went somewhere. She didn't even know, and she had no idea. I made her join my service unit. She had no idea. I was friends with her sister. She had no idea.
I thought I was not making decisions.
Now, okay. Let me go back to Mrs. Adelakuns. Let me ask you very quickly. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel that he was investigating and watching you to make his decision?
Well, I don't know if we thought about this, but it makes me feel, I just felt not caged. Like, if we're already in a relationship when all this was happening, I would have been a different person. I would have been a different person. Like, in the sense that if we went to all those places that we went to when I did not know, I would have been all shy because I'm an introvert. So I've been all shy. There are things I wouldn't have said the way I said them. There's a way I would have related with the friends that we went out with. I'd just been locked up in a cage. Yeah, but the fact that I didn't know made me more free.
It allowed you to be yourself.
So yeah, I mean, it was good. It was really good.
You spoke a lot. It was good for me.
Now, okay, I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to the basics. How did you meet? How did you guys meet? What is the genesis of your relationship?
So what do you want to share? You want a version or which version?
Oh, we got two versions. Okay.
Let's start with your version. So I'll just adding.
Okay. So we met in church. I'm in the technical unit of my church. Technical, like we do video, live video, and then so. Okay, let me also add that my church. I grew up in the church I am, so I practically know everybody. Right. So there's this day, the camera just focused on a new set of people in church. Like, who is this family? That's what caught my attention. Oh, who are these guys? Who is this fine lady there? And that was the first sighting for me. It was just on the screen. And then other Sundays, I started seeing them more often. Okay, it was, and then that's when I just left it at that. As we were talking, new family in church. Oh, okay, she looks nice. She looks nice. That's how I left it, right? But then, as they became more consistent, then for some reason, somebody in my service group was close to her, and then I just encouraged her. I said, okay, does she want to be part of the youth? Does she not want to be part of the youth program? Yeah. And then I asked her to be part of the youth program. And then I found that she could type well. And said, okay, why not join the technical unit to do the easy worship? And all of that, I just started that way. So that was the meeting point. It was just on camera.
Gotcha.
It was on camera.
And this is an interesting one because not a lot of people meet on camera like this. So so if I'm getting you correctly, there's a church service going on. You are in the audiovisual department of your church, and the camera focused on this lady in church, and you were looking at the screen while working and saying, "Who is it?"
Yeah, because I met everybody. I've seen everybody, right?
Who is this damsel on camera? Wow. Okay. So what did you do right after service? What did you do? So you saw her on camera. What was your next step? What did you do? What was your action step?
Let me confess. I was not like the hunter guy. I wouldn't be like, oh, I came in after. No, I wasn't. Right. I just felt that, okay, who is this fine lady? That is new in our congregation. That's what it was. So I left it at that, right? Oh, just appreciated the beauty and left it. Yeah. But then next Sunday again, oh, okay, it's like these guys are going to be consistent now. Or it felt like that, right? So after I saw maybe a few 4 or 5 Sundays, okay, and then I was like, okay, let them be part of the youth fellowship first, right? Let's bring them into the youth fellowship, and then I heard, okay, she could type. Okay, let me even bring her closer to, because I know that how would I put it now? For me, beauty is good, but I know that's not all it is, right? So I just take my time. I've met a lot of beautiful people. Let me know that, right? So I just want to really know what's inside there, right? So it's for me. I just created all the opportunities to see more than what I saw physically, right? But I wouldn't say that first time I saw it, I just went after her. No, I wouldn't say that, right? I just said someone beautiful, someone interesting to know, right? And that was the beginning for me.
That was the beginning. Okay, so what is Mrs. Adelakuns? What is your version? Because you said that there are two versions now. So that's how he met you. What is your version of the
story? Well, I didn't meet him until I can't even say when.
Months, but it was like a few months.
A few months after we joined church, maybe like 4, 5, 6 months.
Okay.
But I met him when I started my cake business. I started selling cakes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And, okay. So and this was how long ago? Because I know you started dating 6 years ago, but how long ago has it been? That
like 7 years.
Maybe like
okay.
a year.
Yeah.
A year after, got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. I started baking, so his birthday was coming up, and he wanted me to bake a cake in shape of a camera.
I've known you before.
But that was like our own first. That was like the first.
That was part of the strategy. It was part of it.
I didn't know I was already in someone's plan and everything. But that was like the first meeting that I remember. So he told me he wanted me to bake a cake in the shape of camera because I was good at carving with cakes and stuff. So yeah, that
should have been a red flag because I don't like icing now. And I'm ready to do icing for me.
Oh.
that was how we met for me. So I just saw someone who was interested in my
in your business, in your art,
And
nice.
David and his brother, they're like business moguls.
So
he was really interested in helping me grow the business, giving me ideas on how to do blogs. If I didn't know, I started a blog, how to be on social media more and all the stuff.
At that point, I was already impressed. I was already impressed.
So just teach me a lot of things on how to grow the business. I can market it here, go to school, all those things. Yeah, so that's how we got talking.
Okay.
And for me, at this point, still wasn't relationship.
Got you. Okay, so no, this is good. So all right, so. In the whole process of dating and getting to know each other, you said it took you 6 years, but you already made your intention known because you had already done your investigation. Particularly for you, David, what were you looking for? What were you looking for that she had that gave you that confidence that this is the one for me? Did you get a sign? Because there was somebody else we met with who said she had a sign. Some people don't get signs. It was just they look at somebody, their heart draws close to that person, and they look for 1 or 2, 3 things. If they have it, great, no problem. Let's do it. Right? Was there a sign for you? Did you get a dream? Was there a vision? Or you had 3 or 4 things that you needed to find in a female that you will call your wife that she had? So that's a twofold question right there.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So at that time, I said I wasn't even ready for, marriage or anything serious, right? I just came out of school, started, I was working in the TV station, doing what I love doing, trying to take meaning out of life, fresh out of school, trying to understand how it works. So the only thing in my head about the woman I'm going to be with were just values. I was not looking to have a relationship, but just that anybody I'm going to marry must have some certain values, right? First of all, obviously, God, God must be a major factor in her life. She must have a track record with God, not a new convert, personally, someone that has a track record has grown spiritually. This one was big for me, somebody that had a mind of her own. Someone that was not easily influenced by what everybody's doing. That one was so big because when I looked, I discovered a lot of what you call peer pressure, not just for young people, but even for adults, people that can't make decisions for themselves. I've seen that a lot of troubles they face, maybe in marriage, because they're always listening to what somebody else is saying, somebody else's idea. So for me, I just wanted somebody that could think on her own, someone that could make decisions. That was very big, for me. Then I wanted somebody that was enterprising, because I'm a business person, so I needed someone that could also think on that, on that wavelength and was good with her hands and hard skill. So those are the few things at that time that thought about, because I wasn't thinking deep in terms of relationship. Right? When I saw those things from, I told her how I found out she had a mind of her own. Went somewhere and then with friends, and it was very lonely. Like we went to 2 other places, like a tourist destination, but this other one was very how do I put it now? Secluded and very calm. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing special, right? Everybody was feeling like, oh, what are we doing here? This is boring and all that. And she was like, this is my kind of space. I just want to be here. I just want to be here. And she just said it. Like, I like that. I like when I just want to be alone, that kind of thing. So those were pretty much the values I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. And so when I saw it, she became very interesting. I said, no, this is not just beyond physical. Let me not.
So that's how. So you were looking for someone who had a mind of their own, who was business minded as well, and someone who had values that you agreed with. And I love the fact that you also said you didn't want a new convert. You wanted somebody who had been in Christ much longer. And if we had the time, I would dive more into that and kind of have you talk more on that. But I understand it, and I think for a lot of our listeners, they will understand that too. But then some may say, well, I'm a new convert. Does that disqualify me? No, ma'am. It does not disqualify you. It's just his preference. All right. So, right. Miss Faith, what were you looking for? You're a very introverted person. You're very quiet. This is the Yoruba would say ayeole. You're like an ayeole kind of person.
Our mom says koniro. That's
what so and ayeole, for those who are not Yoruba listening, just means life is not hard. Life is good. Life is easy, and you're an easygoing person, and that's your approach towards life, right? That's what that means. For you though, what were you looking for in a significant other that made it easy for you to say yes when he made his intention known that he wants to marry you?
Okay, so my list was not too long, but I just wanted someone who was God-fearing, was like top of the list, number one, and someone who had his own like dreams, plans for the future.
Ambitious, gotcha.
Yeah, but someone who's ambitious, and then someone who would support my own dreams as well. That was the top 3 of my list, because I had a lot of plans myself that I had in my head myself. So I needed someone who would support me and just push me as well to achieve great things.
So how does it support and push you at the same time?
Okay. By giving me ideas on how to do what I'm doing better, and also motivating me to do them.
Gotcha. That's beautiful.
Yeah, provoking each other into good works.
I love it. Now, would you guys say, both of you now, this is a question for both of you. Would you say you know each other enough, or there's more to know?
There's a lot more
to know.
A lot. But yeah, we're still getting to know each other.
Yes, we're still, and I think that, because I believe that there are phases in people's lives, phases, right? And for every phase, you get to understand the person better.
Yes.
When there are tribulations now, the person changes when maybe there are issues, right? Yep. And then you get to know that, okay, this is how this person. But yes, I think one thing that's helped both of us is that we feed on the same thing spiritually. And why I'm saying that is, so when, for instance, we learn how to deal with a situation under what I put it now, when things are not so good financially, for instance, when we learn it together. Yeah. So when the test comes, how are you going to react? Didn't you learn it? Didn't we say we learned it together, right? So like we're helping each other say, okay, this is how we're supposed to go through things, right?
Yeah.
So there's an expectation from her when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I also have an expectation from her, actually, because we are learning the same thing, and that's why I think the fact that spiritual root is very important for everybody, right? So that, we're on the same page.
Yes, absolutely. I love it because, and like you just said, if we're learning the same thing, we're essentially teaching each other the same thing, and we are going to react the same way to situations as they arise. So we're shaping each other together in almost the same way, so we can respond to life in the same way. Now, based on everything you just said now, does the future, does it worry you, I should say, does it worry you that you don't know everything? Right? Does it worry you? Is it something that you're concerned about? That if you're saying that you believe there's more to know about your significant other, what is your approach towards that? Are you optimistic? Are you enthusiastic about it? Or you're more cautious and worried, and we don't know if this happened, we don't know what he would say or what she would say, or we don't know, or you're more like, I'm curious to see what he would say. I'm curious to see, like, what is your approach towards that, towards the unknown, I should say?
Okay. I would first of all say that the step to marriage, to me saying I'm ready to get married, that step alone was a massively bold step, uncertain. In fact, till how would I put it now? Till the wedding day, right? Still an act of faith. I see for me, I see it as an act of faith, right? And it's just something that helps me to show how much I trust God, right? And that's why for me, when I said I didn't want a new convert, I think it still goes back to the faith of my partner.
Yeah.
There's something we have learned, right? That beyond being a child of God, you are a servant of God. So it means God is your master. I am his slave, right? He's my Lord. He controls everything. So if he's my Lord, he's also your Lord. You've also gotten to a point where he's also your Lord.
Yeah.
Then I trust in my Lord to keep us together if he says we should come together. Yeah. So that's the only thing giving me. Do I know how she will react tomorrow? I don't know. But I believe that if she's still under a master, and I'm doing everything according to what the master has asked me to do. Yeah. Master should still be able to control her and tell her to stay or to whatever we're going through that period. To keep her. So that's the only assurance I have, God.
Gotcha.
Personally, I don't have any assurance. But the fact that I know she's submitted to God, I'm submitted to God, that's the only security I have. I won't lie. That's the only security I have.
And I love it. That is the only security we all have. And this is why we always say, and I think you've mentioned it too multiple times here, that spiritual grounding is so important, because when life is lifing, the only thing that keeps you steady is God and your relationship with him. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here, but before we go, as usual, I want David, Mr. to say a word of affirmation, a word of an endearing word to your darling bride. You have about 59 seconds.
What? I don't like tension. I like rush.
Say a few words to your wife.
My lovely bride. How many seconds left? 40 seconds. I love you. I want to thank you for doing life with me, for accepting to do life with me, for accepting my imperfections, for accepting, taking this raw guy. And also say, I'm happy every time I see you do what you do, every time I see you with baby, I feel like the happiest man in the world, because I know that I made the best decision. I know that this is an amazing decision I made, and that's because of your heart. You're God's gift to me. I think that's the only way to explain it. And I told you before that God loves me so much, He gives me the best gift. and so you're that person to me. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate you forever.
All right.
What's on yours now?
We did it. Our first Nigerian guest. We made it work.
Yes, with a lot of Niger happening to the video.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us
Thank
on
you for
today.
having us.
We really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you to the missus for giving the mister the chance and the permission to share your story. I know it's not always easy coming out in front of people and sharing your story, but I believe that our story is our testimony, right? Our story is our message. Our story is our ministry. So the more people you can share your story with, the more you are ministering to them using your story. And it's the easiest way to minister, really, because it's my story. Nobody can tell it better than me, right? So I really appreciate you guys for that and for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you to Lodi as well.
Absolutely. So, all right. So I just want to thank you guys one more time on today, because I hope we've learned and we've seen the myriad of people and their story, and how everybody's life and journey in relationship is different. The whole point of this is so that we can dig and discover things that we can use to build or rebuild kingdom homes and relationship for the glory of God, right? And so that is the story of the Adelakuns. We're going to bring them back again on another season as we're wrapping up this season. But this is all we have for today. I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify and move you towards a kingdom-fulfilled relationship, not only with yourself, but also with others, and most importantly, with God. Until next time, be the light, be the salt, and remember, all things are possible if you believe.